Now, here's the thing. To me, Brad Loomis looks like a professor. I don't know what he does. His whole vibe, I really enjoy it. Very calm, very collected. Pushes his glasses back up when they slide down just a little bit. Brad's got some good character on him. I really enjoy that. Brad, the Professor Loomis. This is a pull for the win.
All right, 3DMJers. So this is the recap of the 2024 Masters World Cup. So it was a good time, as you probably could tell by that brief little introduction. And today I'm going to go over how I positioned myself to pull for the win. So what you're looking at here is my, what I call it, my handling sheet that I use for all of my lifters that I'm coaching. And so at this meet here, here's me, and here are my 4 competitors. This sheet, you add in the best lifts of your squat, bench, dead for each of your competitors. It gives you the subtotal. It takes into consideration body weight, etc. And so this is my handling sheet. And my handler for my meet was my father, also named Brad Loomis. And he was the one that was in charge of taking care of all of this for me. So let's go ahead and start out with the first lift of every meet, my personal favorite, and one that I usually excel at, the squat.
Nice squat right there. Looks like that one might have been due to depth. Brad, 165 kilos, really quick walkout. Good brace. Hits the hole pretty hard, but comes right back out of it. Judges say 3 white lights, lift is good. Brad drops it all the way down, comes right back up with it. Again, we're not seeing too many grinds here on second attempts, which is what you want to see. 402 pounds for this master lifter over here. Good up walkout right there for Brad Loomis. Pulling in air for his brace. And he is shooting the thrill on this one. Really consistent on that. Didn't look like too much of a struggle, and he's rewarded 3 white lights.
Okay, so after the squat event, you can see here that I was solidly in second place. First place was Bill Matthews right here. He finished with a 200 kilo squat, 441 pounds. My 182.5 was 402 pounds. And as you can see here, that put me right about 5 kilos above third place, Edgar Drake here. So again, this is kind of starting to show you how my sheet kind of works here. And so then next was on to what was essentially going to be damage control for me, the bench press, right? Because as we know, that infraspinatus strain has been plaguing me all prep. Go over the attempts here real quick. So I was going to open up a few weeks ago with a mere 60 kilos, right? So I was very happy that I felt confident getting 95 kilos, which is a very pedestrian 209 pounds, right? Jump into 100, and I kind of made my dad promise me that if I tried to stray from this, that I was going to He was going to grab my face mask, so to speak, and say, "Hey, stick to the plan." And then, of course, you can see here on the second attempt, if I find it at all a struggle, if that second attempt was RPE 8.5 or more, basically 1 rep in reserve for sure, maybe 2. We go for the B attempt, 105, 231 pounds. But if I smoked it and that RPE 8 was what I felt like it was, we would go with this A attempt here, 242 pounds, 110 kilos. So it's a little bit heartbreaking that was essentially, I was planning on having that as my opener. But again, damage control, I'm here to compete. And again, I'm elated with this in comparison to the 60 kilos that I was talking about here just a few weeks ago, right? So got footage for you on those lifts. So on to the bench press.
All right, waiting for the unrack here. Brad is getting himself underneath the bar, properly positioned. Now, as a competitor in the USAPL, you are able to request that a member of the spotting and loading team give you a handoff. But when you do that, make sure that you're very precise with what you're asking for. That way, there are no mess-ups. 3 white lights, lift is good. The reason why you want to be incredibly precise is you want to say, hey, this is approximately how much weight I want taken off. And it's always awesome to see when somebody's able to kind of push through a bench and get something that you weren't 100% confident if you could. Brad pauses a little bit longer after that press command on that one. 3 white lights, lift is good. Brad Loomis getting locked and loaded for the day. Press command really pushing through that one. That's what we call a great third attempt call. 2-1, good lift. All right, David Barnes going for an American record attempt, 112.5 kilos.
All right, so now after bench press, things got more exciting, but damage control was a success. So things tightened up significantly after bench. You can kind of see here that Bill was handily in the lead with 317.5 kilos. I had slipped to third, basically instead of being 5 up after the squat. I was 10 down after bench press. You can see that really hurt me. Even going for the A attempt, it kind of hurt me. I slipped down by quite a bit. And then, of course, I was only 2.5 up on Scott Grotti here. So on to the deadlift, right? And this is my strongest lift. This is without a doubt, my strongest lift. And we went ahead and punched in openers for everybody on first attempt for deadlift here, kind of on the notes. And so you can see here that I was opening up the heaviest deadlifter, which is a tremendous, tremendous asset. It really, really behooves you to go last. Because you can kind of see what everybody else does. And while you can't change any of your attempts on the squat and the bench press, when it comes down to that critical third attempt on deadlift, you can change your attempt in order to position yourself for placing. And you're going to see that's going to shape up to be very, very important by the end of this video. So 210 was my opener, and basically the order was going to be Scott, then Edgar, then Bill, then Aaron, and me. So on to the deadlift so that you can see how this all unfolds.
Brad Loomis is 210, getting ready for the sumo. That was a blink and you miss it deadlift right there. Pushes his glasses back into place. A little bit of a handshake of victory. Highly appreciated. Brad Loomis looming over this deadlift. Can't believe I didn't think about that one today. 501, huge deadlift. Woo, great job, Brad. Judges say 3 white lights lift is good for Brad.
All righty, gang. So going back to the handling sheet, this is essentially what it boiled down to. If I went with my A attempt, 237.5 kilos, my total would have been 530. And if Bill got his third attempt, 215, his total would have been 532 and a half. I still would have been basically settling for the silver. So basically my dad's job was to see if Bill got this attempt right here, 215, because it was 532 and a half. And his job was to basically, okay, if he gets that lift, you're going to go ahead and go to the table and you're going to go ahead and put in 240 pounds as my attempt. We would tie, but as you can see here, my body weight was 73.4 kilos. His was 73.7. And the tiebreaker is that the lighter lifter will get the lift. So Dad put in 240 kilos while I was off in the corner trying to get my game face on, and I was pulling for the win.
Brad, the Professor Loomis. This is a pull for the win right here. Getting himself set up exactly how he does every single time. Again, routine is super important here. Not quite there. That's okay.
All righty, gang. So as you can see, it's one thing to pull for the win. It's another to be successful, right? So official results here. You can see Bill ended up getting that win with the 532 and a half. Body weight didn't even, take into consideration since I was not able to get that last lift. So 520 was my placing silver. Edgar here was 10 kilos behind me with 510. Then Scott Grotti right here, 490. And then, of course, Aaron right here with 460. And if you kind of look onto the lifting cast website, you can kind of see here that that's exactly, what the official results show as well. As a side note, you could kind of see here in the Raw Masters 82 and a half kilo class, they had basically happened to them the same thing that would have happened had I been able to pull that final lift off, right? They both tied 532 and a half, the same amount that we would have tied. Bill Matthews and I would have tied had I been able to pull that off. But you can see here that Craig here was the lighter lifter, and since he was the lighter, he was the tiebreaker, and he got the win, right? So, you know what? Wasn't meant to be, but still had a good time, and silver medal in a group of 5 strong 50-year-olds is nothing to sneeze at, right? So now collected the hardware, and then, of course, what is in store for Brad now. So spent about a half a week in Memphis, having a good time, enjoying good food and family. And now back to it. And the plan is to compete in bodybuilding probably the end of July. However, I'll be honest with you, that was a whole lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed that. And when you have that slight bit of control over your placing, it really serves the competitor in me, because I'm a very competitive person, a very competitive guy, always have been. And who knows? I've qualified for Raw Nationals, and maybe I will serve the competitor in me, which bodybuilding is a little bit less service to that competitor in me. We'll see. But at least right now, gang, back at it. going to be doing some bodybuilding training for at least a couple of months. And what happens? Stay tuned.